Hey, peep game. Trump just cut off of the EBT. You know what I'm saying? Hey, EBT is worse than any drug. You hear me? You finna have people is addicted to EBT. You know what I'm saying? Even me. Hey, look, check it out. But the reason why I'm saying that is because you know it's the Most High's doing. You know, we keep these pagan holidays. You know what I mean? We keeping Thanksgiving, we keeping Christmas, and the Most High is just really showing you that he don't want you keeping that because, especially us, you know what I'm saying, the true people of the Most High Yahweh. That's all I'm gonna say, for entertainment purposes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, food stamps getting cut off, during November on, Thanks Massacre, you know what I mean? And, Pet of Christmas, you know what I mean? Where it was a bunch of debauchery, men paying, having orgies and stuff with children and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So, it's really the Most High's doing. That's what you can't see. See, a lot of people don't have the spiritual eye to see that. You see what I'm saying? But all in all, I think it's a good thing. You see what I'm saying? Because my people, we worked these fields for over 400 years. You know what I mean? And we didn't get nothing. You got all these people coming into the country getting benefits that don't even belong here. So, really me, I agree with Trump in so many, words. Even though I don't get into politics and things of that nature because, that doesn't concern me. Some of y'all need to learn to back up from the table and fast. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel sorry for, the ones with children. I ain't gonna say sorry, but I don't feel sorry, but you know what I mean. For the lack of words. It's a shame, but, to get people out of the country who don't belong here, who sucking up the resources, no offense against them. If we have to keep the law, why they don't have to keep the law? If you can go to jail for a crime, if you can go to jail for public drunk, if you can go to jail for public nuisance, if you can go to jail for any criminal charge that's whether it's misdemeanor or felony, you see what I'm saying? If you can go to jail for that, why can't people go to jail for coming across the border illegally? Now, I don't got no problem with them people. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that we have to obey the law and they don't have to obey the law? What makes them more special than us? You know what I'm saying? Our people suffered over here. You know what I'm saying? And you know what they do? They laugh and smirk in our face and treat us like we not nothing. Like I said, it's nothing against you. Even though y'all treat us like that. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I agree with Trump. You know what I'm saying? Because he's protecting the United States Constitution. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't found asylum over here, you see what I'm saying? If you haven't got you a visa, if you haven't came over here the correct way, then yeah, you should go back. Yeah, you should go back. That's what I think. That's just, I ain't gonna even say my opinion. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? Because if we have to obey the law, why don't anybody else have to obey the law? You see? So it's only fair. And then not only that, you know what I'm saying? The right wing or left wing, I don't really agree with the right left wing, really, you know what I'm saying? Because when you understand the history of where the left wing came from, you know what I'm saying, which is the Democratic Party, you definitely don't. Now, I commend the things that they've done, how they have created it to, help people, with disabilities and disadvantages, but at the same time, it's crippling us. You know what I'm saying? I remember it was in time when I was coming up, you could get a job. It was about competition. You could get a job and you can go somewhere else and get a job. You can't do that now. You know what I'm saying? The country is losing so many jobs. You know what I'm saying? In a day, it's pitiful. Because these greedy companies, they move to third world countries. Just so they can, get more profit. You know what I mean? Where they don't have a problem with, child labor. You see what I'm saying? Where they can go into sweatshops. You see what I'm saying? So if Trump protecting the Constitution is a problem to you, you know what I mean? You might want to reevaluate what you do. You know what I'm saying? Get up and get a job. A man should have a job. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could find a job. I wish I could get a job. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get a job. You know what I mean? So, wham, wham, wham. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That ain't nobody problem with but yours, because you dependent on the government. Even though at the moment I have to depend on the government because I can't get a job. You see? And I need food to eat. You see? So, really, it's kind of, ironic to see, because a lot of people, they find it funny when you homeless, when you ain't got nothing. Now a lot of people losing their jobs. Now you're going to get to see what it feel to be homeless, because over this internet, y'all able to get in y'all groups all around the country. So now you're going to see what it feel like. Are you prepared? You know what I'm saying? Because, see, I've been out here for 4 years. I learned how to deal with it. You know what I mean? So I'm in support of it. I know how to fast. I know how to. You can go to food banks. You can go to, places, charity places, and get you a box of food. It's places you can go. It's resources out there. You don't got to go steal. You don't got to get mad and go into the grocery store and want to wreck the grocery store and take it because you didn't get your EBT. You gonna wind your backside up in jail. I can guarantee you that. That's where they want you. You know what I'm saying? Then you get 3 hots and a cot. Yeah, shalom, peace and blessings.